Hello everyone, you can see I'm working on the Millennium Falcon because that's what's sitting right in front of me. I was posting over at Scale Model Addict some of the videos, and one of the guys there said, you know, here's something I've seen in the photos I've never seen anyone do. The saucer part of the Millennium Falcon, this part, goes around. If you look at the reference photos, there is a lip between this plate and this plate. There's a very clear lip, okay? Now, I can't show you what's going on without the top so much because I've worked on it some. But here's the bottom. Now let me show you what the bottom looks like with one of these great zooms that Mr. Camera's capable of doing. Okay? You can see that that is not necessarily the best detail. There's no lip there. There's no, like... Basically what I'm trying to say is this. Okay? Let me get the right spot here. There's the right spot. Right along here... I'm on the wrong side. Right along here, there should be an overhang. Okay? Reference photos show an overhang right along here. I'm going to scratch things up if I'm not careful. Right along here there should be an overhang. There isn't in this model. You can see very clearly there isn't. Got out my scoring tool. You see I've got the dental pick in my hand. That dental pick has had its tip removed somehow. And here is the top half. Okay? Now, let me get her on the right spot of the top half, so you may see it, and I've been scoring a lip in there. You can tell I've been working it right there, because now it's looking more like a lip. I've still got to take care of these little notches right here. They don't go all the way through, and I got to make them go all the way through. But that's simple once I get that lip done. Now on to the other side. The other side came out much better than that one did. Wrong way. Tight zooms are really hard to get things working on. There's the other side. The angle you're seeing it doesn't look too good, but when you look at it straight on, it now has more dimension to it than it did without. As a comparison, I haven't done anything with that little spot right there. Okay? A little bit more work with it, and I think it'll look a lot better. So all I'm doing is taking my scoring tool and gouging it out some. Alright? Next thing I'm going to do, once I'm done with that, because that's easy and that doesn't take much time. I mean, literally, that's why I got the dental pick out, because I can get in here a little bit better. Let me change the camera a teeny bit so you guys can see more what I'm doing. I'm basically just taking the dental pick and going at it like that. I was using the Tamiya scoring tool, but it can't get into the tight spots I need. Okay? And it can't get into this area right here. It's too small and tight. Whereas this guy sure can get in there and take care of it. So I'll be at that for 20 or 30 minutes. When I'm done with that, one of my faithful viewers gave me a suggestion. I'm going to redo this one back here because I broke it. This piping. I'm going to try to bend it, and he said, get some jewelry pliers. Okay? And I went looking, and I found some. And the reason you buy these things, if you're going to bend these things, because I was going to make a jig and stuff, and he said, don't do that. Just go get yourself some jewelry pliers. Because if you take a look at them, they have nylon on them. That is not going to score my piping and leave grooves or marks or anything of the sort. Plus, this bottom half is rounded over, so I can get different radius bends by being at different positions on it. Pretty nifty, huh? See how it's a cone shape? I get a tight radius bend up there and a fat radius bend down here just by being at different positions on it. I bought two of them, two different kinds. Okay? It's still in the bag down here. I didn't prep for this video that well. This kind is just flat on both ends. Okay? So I can hold it with this and bend it with the other one. in tandem like this. One's holding and one's bending. So there you go, I got those. Another thing I did is while I was looking at the jewelry, I started looking at their aluminum wire. I'll zoom this back my way. Started looking at their aluminum wire. This was like $2 and it's pretty thick wire. It's thicker than I want to use on this. It's about the same size. About the same size as that big piece of pipe right there. So I don't think I did too bad with that. I'm just guesstimating. And I bought a couple of spindles of that. Where are the other ones? Lots of stuff in this bag. I bought a little one like this. Now the big problem I can see with this stuff is it's not straight to begin with. I would like my wire to be straight to begin with. I also bought one of these. So if I decide not to wet sand, I got something to keep myself from losing my lungs. That's the big worry though. This wire is not straight to begin with and it's not very stiff. I can bend this pretty easily. Whereas this stuff, it don't want to bend. This music wire. So the music wire probably will be better in a lot of ways. We'll see. I'm going to give it a try with both of them in a little bit. So let me get working and show you the end results. And if I think it's warranted, I will actually videotape bending some of this stuff to show you how it works. Okay? Another problem with this kind of wire is what I have going down here. Oop. Gotta actually pick up the camera and turn it because it don't want to turn on its own. It's free in its clamp. There we go. So I'm going to have fun bending wire because someone thinks the other end is a wonderful toy. Yeah, he does. I guess stuff like that's wonderful when you're 8 months old. Are you finally 8 months old? Yeah, you're finally 8 months old. Anyhow, let me get at it. I'll be back in a bit. Alright everyone, I want to show you what this thing looks like when I'm done with it. I'm pretty much done with the top. I just have a little bit of cleaning up to do. Okay? We're going to start with the bottom so you can see what it looks like where it has not been done. Alright, you can see there is definitely a line there, but it looks like there's just a step up. Okay? Looks like there's just a step up. Now, let's take the piece I've been working on. When you take a look at it over here, it no longer looks like it's a step up. It looks like the plates overlap. And not so much on that side because of the way the shadows are going, but in person I could see that it's definitely grooved and overlapped. The model I was looking at, the reference photos, show it a lot more pronounced. I can't get it more pronounced than what I have there because I'm starting to carve through the plastic in a few spots. Plastic just isn't thick enough for me to do that with. But to me it looks a lot better than it did before it started. It looks more like the plate, it looks more like they're separate pieces. And I even attempted it on these little pieces in between here and over here on those. Okay? Again, it's just a tiny little detail. It doesn't take that much time to do. Dental pick works best because with a dental pick, you can really get up underneath the spots you need to with this thing. The back of the X-Acto knife blade, working it backwards, break the tip off, use the back, scrape along back to front. Look at the A-Wing video, you'll see that I use that there. Works best for this, but you can't get everywhere. The Tamiya tool is way too large for this. It's not meant for getting into little nooks and crannies. It's just not meant for that. And again, I still have some little cleanup to do around there. I'll get it done. I need to get in there with a tiny little file and a piece of sandpaper, I think. Anyhow, I'm going to start on the underside. I'll let you know what that looks like when I'm done with it. Hello everybody. This is taking a lot longer than I thought it would, and I'm quitting on it for the night, and I'll explain why in a second. I only had a couple hours to work on models tonight, and it's at that time limit. Yeah, I'm at that time limit, so I have to stop whether I want to or not. Now let me show you what I've done. The top is done. One thing I want to say, if you're going to do this, you got to put something underneath your model to support it. This plastic you'll just break it because it's weird shapes and there's nothing to support it when you're cutting, and I can feel it really flexing hard. So I'll put some towel under it to support it. I've done this side. I haven't touched this side. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see the difference in the two sides. I think what I'm doing really does improve the detail along there. Now I'm going to zoom in on this side more so you can see another reason why I'm quitting. I'm making mistakes. Nothing I can't fix, and I actually probably will leave them because this thing's supposed to be beaten up, and that looks like he flew into something right there and scratched the bottom up pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and leave what I'm doing there rough as it is. Okay? But to me, that looks better than that does. It definitely looks like it has a rim to it or a lip to it now. Whereas on this side, you can tell there isn't one. So I got to do this side over here. It takes me about 30 minutes to do that side, maybe 40. So this is why I got to stop. It's taking more time to do than I expected. Not to mention, I got to start spending some time on that A-wing. I want to spend equal amounts of time between this and the A-wing. I've just about got them equaled up right now. So the A-wing's going to deserve some time. But before I quit, I'm going to get out some rod and try to bend it and see how well that goes. So I'm going to spend a few more minutes on this. I'm going to try to replicate one of those, some of the tubing on the ship using my jewelry pliers so I can see if these are actually helpful. Those big nylon jaws on them, there's no way they're going to leave marks on the tubing. So let me get at it. We'll be back to discuss the tubing later and to show you the rest of this later.